uzawubanjwa abazali into yoba awukho sesikolweni. So yasinceda loo nto leyo because singene esikolweni sibancuka ngexesha elirayithi sakwazi into yoba sibe siyafunda. So that is how I got to school. I remember even my first day ndizaya esikolweni kufika umama, ndandihlala nodade obawo mosongasekhoyo. Ufika umama esithi, hey mntanam sizawubanjwa. Ufama uqala esikolweni namhlanje. Ixesha selijonga ngelanga, uyazi ilanga xa lilapha ngo-8, xa lilapha ilanga ngo-9. Sizawubanjwa esikolweni. Uthi kumazuzu akunika i-ball pen, akazi umama noba kubhalwa nge-ball pen ongeliti. So I started at school ke ngo-1981. Fika esikolweni kodwa mandixhome isandla entloko ndijonge into yoba ndiyakwazi nokubamba indlebe. That is how kids were checked into yoba ukwi-age erayithi nafuna ungena esikolweni. Ndakhwitha black. Ndakhwitha, I got awards as early as sub-A.
Wow.
Kwakho into emnandi ke yayimpunzana junior secondary school ngelo xesha, nawo iduma lisile. Kwakubakho i-assembly qho xa uvala isikolo ngoDisemba, unumber 1, number 2, nje sifumane amabhaso and so on. Ingathi ezaa zinto zaphela, ezaa zinto zazikhuthaza and zazisenza i-spirit of competition. So junior secondary ndathi xa ndifika kwa-standard 3 kwasidibene iklasi kulaa minyaka engu-3 and 4.
Okay.
So zange ndimenze ufo ngoba ndandisithi ngexesha ndikwa-3 ndikwazi uphendula imibuzo across the class.
Okay.
So loo nto leyo, that one morning ndisaye eklasini ndiyokhopela ustandard 4, kwafika uprincipal uMr Mapipa wathi mandithathe incwadi zam ndiye kwa-standard 5.
Wow.
Ndafika nalapho black ndabe nditshisa. Zazingekho impempe ngelo xesha nento zonke. Kwakungekho mpempe, ungekho gusheshe, kukhala incwadi qha. Njengoba kuthiwa mayikhale, sathi mayikhale incwadi. So ndapasa u-standard 7. Ndandisenza i-history ne-general science and so on. Ndaya ke ngoEdanjebo High School apho ndafika ndenza i-maths and science.
Okay.
Ndandikwa-8A. I was a reserved child. Reserved child. I think into endenza ndibengathi ndingumntu o-reserved kungabikho kwe-resources.
Okay.
I don't think that was my personality.
Okay.
Guys, because of growing up in poverty.
Insecurities.
Yes, sometimes uniform ayiphelanga nesihlangu. I remember isihlangu sam sokuqala noba ndaba naso ndisenza u-standard 5. Oko sibachaza ngenyawo. Ndandide ndinawo namasa. Uyayibona loo nto? Ndichama nochama kandilele. Uyabona ezaa zinto zijobha i-confidence. And then high school, eklasini babengazibanga ubani number 1 because ndandingathethi kakhulu eklasini, but when it comes to writing, then kubonde u-number 1 ngutebelele njani. And then that is how it started. Then my confidence grew. Then high school, Kuba, 1989 to 91. Then 92, ndawuqala eVarsity. Application yam ke ndancedwa ziititshala zayesesikolweni. You know, one thing I'm always grateful to educators about is that they don't only look at you as a student xa usesikolweni. Bayakwazi ne-background yakho, bakwazi all around and so on. So they assist you apho. So your application name was submitted. It was very clear because I was motivated, I was inspired. Khona Professor Velaphi ngwapha elalini yam, the first doctor phaya elalini. Is my friend, umkhuluwa. We're pushing everything together, and he can be my father easily, but is someone I relate to very, very well. He-shooting apha elantukeni eBhara.
Ndiyakuva uba uthi ba iititshala zakho zakuncedisa to apply to go to school.
Yes, babe.
But also in the conversation uthi into yoba i-resources, they were not that great. How is that happening ke ngoku? Because I would think that xa ekhaya kungekho right awukwazi ukuya esikolweni.
The nice thing about into yasezilalini is that zazikhona iigusha, zikhona iinkukhu. Qho xa ndibhasile ndandixhela inkukhu.
Wow.
Which was motivating. Zazikhona into basic things uba kulale kutyiwe, but sometimes into yasezilalini imnandi black. We grew up abazali bethu besherisha. Uyakwazi uthunywa mbocela imilimili kulobani, mbocela iparafini kulobani, uzolala ungalayitwanga apha. And naxa sichele inkukhu, sasinemizi esiyaziyo. Ba kuzawuthathwa imlenze wenkukhu apha nephikwa entontoni kuthiwe isanpa noba zawuhambe sitya apha endleleni. So we grew up under abazali abanjalo, i-community that is close and sharing. I-poverty yomnye umntu yayingayekwa into yoba iveleleke ngaphandle. Awukwazi ulala ungatyanga ezilalini. Awuzuthi uye esitratweni uhambe uyonxiba and whatever. Uyakwazi ukwenza into encinci kuloo mzi, then iphakelwe nitye and so on. So kwakulinywa ke sisitya zonke ezo zinto. And ndandinetshomi ezininzi. Uba ndisekhaya, you know into yoba I would always have groups of boys. Mhlawumbi 20-30 boys. Ndangumcaptain weteam xa nemali ehlala kum and so on. naxa ndisiya esikoleni xa makandijonge itshomi zam kwento yoba ndabashiya kanjani abantu, because ndandihluza utywala nabo as much as ndandingaseli, but umqombothi sasiwuhluza sonke sicele into yokuthi kuthiwa unondanda utywala bamakhwenkwe. We used to do all those things. Naxa siyobonga amathuba, sasibonga amathuba sicebisana together, yazi la macebo
Yeah.
uzawufika uthi then lo mntana uzawuthi and so on. Nasesidadweni sidada sisonke sijongana impemba zingakanani siphondlane zonke ezo zinto, all ruler stuff, senze ezo zinto, sipheke emasimini sibuye zihluthi. So that is how I grew up. Very, very simple. And loo nto indifundise ii-lessons ezininzi about life, because ngoku I'm on the urban side of things.
Yeah,
But
also you can
the
relate.
rural life,
Yeah.
I'm able to cope with both sides. That is why naxa undibuza ngento lwaluko, I can answer you the traditional way. I
And
can
the
also,
medical
and
way
the
as well.
medical way.
I love
So
that.
that's a very serious advantage.
Wafika esikolweni wafunda ntoni?
Ndafika eyunivesithi Black, ndipase kakuhle njengoba ndandizikhomithile koMiss Bamba, I'm gonna get good results. Miss wam webiology knew into yoba I can't get anything less than an A. My maths and science teacher is an Indian guy. He also knew into yoba I'm going to bring an A kwi-subject zakhe. I did that without fail. Ndangena eyunivesithi, ii-results zam ke zazintle, and then I was assisted by Mr. Tony kuthiwa nguBlom. Unfortunately akaboni ngoku. He's got a he'll be celebrating his 90th birthday apha nge-16 ka-April. I'm very proud of him. Kuye wandicele on apply ibhasari, ngendlela wayaplaya ngawafika washawutisa qha uba nangu umntana upasile, bonani uba mandithini. Wafika washawutisa ibhola sicawu yonke uba ibhola sicawu building, uthwana umntana nje. That's all he did. Wafika wathi thaca ii-results zam, and then that's it. The guys had to move around the office kusort iiforms zam, ndafilishela into kubuza acceptance letter from university, sanikwa instructions, then everything was smooth. Smooth, mna ndiyintwanana nje encinci elandelayo.
Yeah.
And my parents are not directly involved because they don't know anything about school, but bayinikile qha i-permission into yoba hayi, because umemntwana ufike wathi hayi xa ipase kanje lo mntana ayisengoweni kwarhulumente, arandiba ngubani urhulumente, and ke urhulumente took over the Matanjima regime. As much as we criticize, ndifunda medicine.
Okay.
I studied medicine. It's very tough to get to medicine. You go through interviews, and ke xa kwi-interviews kuthethwa isilungu. Isilungu sethu ke sigrunjwa kude Black, asifani nesakho.
It's true.
Sigrunjwa kude isilungu sethu, sicoliwe side siphume.
Yeah.
But we managed to get through ezo interviews. Then apha ekufoleni ke we got friends.
Okay.
Because zazigruphishwa ngendlela enipase ngayo into yoba saphela siyohlala sisonke thina babepase ngendlela ebufana. Then we got ii-cream zesikolo noko zazihlala ekoneni eyi-1. That is how I met Professor Pepeta, Dr. Ndaba, Dr. Ndamase. Unfortunately, we lost some of them on the way. Sasine group study, siphusha imission. Pasa, sasifocus ezincwadini kayi kakhulu, especially in the first 3 years. Then if ndandinobonwa ngumntu endandimbhulisha high school ngokwasezincwadini, afika abone my first physics test university, I got 15% Black.
15.
Unbelievable. Adjustment from high school to university, it's a serious thing. It's a serious thing. Ukomba hayi ndimangalo zange I've never been in this part of the class, but I managed to get used to things, because in university 1 2 1 2 umuntu aphuma hambi 1 2 1 2 usaqala umamela okanye usalungisa ukuhlala sekususwa ilantuka kwaseyenza iprojector ne-transparencies 1 2. So maybe that's how we got the bad handwriting. And then I was a class rep here and there, and then eventually ngexesha senzaphuma esikoleni 1997 I got involved ke ngoku seriously because we were assisting students kwinto ze-bursaries. I was voted into the SRC, which was a 12-member SRC, which is a moment I reflect proudly on it, because all the guys I worked with in the student union buildings there, Oncuka Itobi, Okhupushe, Oqotywa, Omazozo, I mean all those guys that are elsewhere now.
Yeah.
We meet at different levels. Laa nto sasiyenza phana engathi iparlamente, and I was like ndandimele icandelo lezempilo, and someone was standing in for education, and then the skills, the experience, and so on. Those are things that you can never forget. It made me a leader in a way. And then I lost my father 94 through liver cirrhosis, And then umama ndimlose 2004 through cancer.
Oh man.
I'm an orphan. Thank you for being
man,
sorry,
I'm
but
so sorry.
there's no orphan in God.
No, of course not.
No orphan in God. It takes care of us. So I started looking after my siblings. Kwangese stipend skamatanzima. From that PSA allowance, I started working at endlini. Uzama improvise into, providing for my siblings.
How many
Bafunda.
siblings?
I've got 2 sisters, abazemva kwam, then my little brother,
Okay.
last one.
Okay.
I lost everyone who came before me. I lost my big brother. In fact, my 2 big brothers and a sister in December kwakhe, I lost them. So ndiyinkulu ke ngoku by default. So ndi anointed to be inkulu. Basa.
Yeah, and then fine. Wow, your university journey, wayigqiba.
Ndayigqiba university journey, ndigqiba ke ngoku sendikwikhalenda yesikolo, ndigqiba kamnandi, and that's why I met my wife.
Okay.
Ndidibene naye 1997 ngexesha the beginning of the year. Ndisiye eMzana for into ze-students, then I met my wife, then eventually ndaexita ke ngoesikolweni, yena wayesigqibezela i-BSc ngelo xesha uThembisa, then washiyeka ke ngoyiqala i-medicine the following year. Njengoba ndiqala i-internship ne-Livingston, yena uqala i-BSc.
Okay, all right. We'll play a song and then we'll come back with the conversation, and then you'll take us from the days of ngazo ke ngokusebenza and that journey to us being here.
Thank you. Right. I'll do that. Awesome.
Yeah, again. Okay, so Doc, you finished school, ne? Showing leadership qualities.
Yes.
And you are able as well to take care of your siblings. And you have to now go to the world of work.
Black kufika kwami by then sevenze Livingston. Then from Livingston I went to Frontier Hospital because kwakho into kuthiwa community service umthetho omtsha waqala ngathi. Then from Frontier ndaya eStagsplate. Kwizibhedlele ezibini phana ezincinci kuthiwa ngumlamli neMpilisweni. I'm very grateful to nurses aziphangela ngazo ngamagala amaxesha. Oh, they were original nurses, very helpful. Then after that ugqirha wayelapha eBhayi uDr Dlangamandla wathi uyemka. Then I was invited back to PE. So second comingly, then this is a point. I've been taking practice game at Dwesi. So I practice at Dwesi. Practice I mean Kolupa Intle Paulo Dr. M Tebelele Incorporated. That is where I spend most of my days. Yes.
Also
in everything I do.
Just to take me back and the transition from working for the public sector to having your own practice, like how did that come about? Like,
it was gambling, Black.
Okay.
It was a gambling. It's like anyone who's opening a business. It's a calculated move anyway, because it's certificated NASO to practice independently, MPSH being denial, and in a pressure. The amount of salary that we're getting from the state in Ngelo Pressure, how to banter together within the rural areas, it was very, very tiny.
Okay.
Cool for the and Galo put Alabazal bemingle and put out the produce now, you need to make things happen. So Kuzango Benzima cool, because then can the manage to practice the Kuyo, don't and whatever, then but eventually they got used. They got used, then I built the practice from scratch, the new numbers and so on. And that is why I'm still there.
And how long was that transition from working for public to private?
It took me about 9 months because I converted the practice in October and January 2000. Then October 2000, I bought the practice and converted it into an incorporation.
Wabe ubonexesha ngakanani usebenza?
Ndabe 98, 99, dabe 2 years.
Okay.
Yes, there's an internship, then I come to service, ndabe ndigqibile requirement kahulumende.
Yeah.
Yeah. And ke uqala uphangela zogqirha actually as early as 6th year.
Okay.
So I had done a lot of things. Kufulfill nje requirement ngezimbini in terms of law.
Okay.
Then emva koko ndibeke ngokunikwe certificate into ba ungayo practice as an individual. Yes.
And how is it being a businessman?
Uba businessman, Black, okokuqala it was thumb sucking because I had no business orientation and so on. Ndifunde nje medicine, I'm a clinician, which is something I'm looking at interestingly. Baninzi oogqirha abaphuma fresh from school, umntu avele after that aresign avule practice. Kanti i-business awunayo kwa business knowledge, awunayo kwa i-risk assessment, awuzazi uba i-finances, i-projections, uba how do you plan the following year. So it was a battle. Sasibona nje basurvive, uthandwa ngabantu, and then ukhonsale, but I'm sure we lost lot of potential income ngelo xesha because of poor management and not understanding things into the customer care and so on, which is why I ended up investing in further education. Then I did a diploma in HIV because and I also joined the HIV Clinician Society. HIV was the thing, and then I ended up doing a MBA in Wasankomba. I really want now to understand administration, the business. I did my master's with the University of Liverpool, which I'm very grateful because MBA actually it makes your mind blow. It blows your mind, it makes you boil. You think out of the box. You begin to see izinto ndizibona globally. In the way you approach issues is totally different. And you meet people from various countries, you get to know cultures zabanye abantu. I had friends from Zimbabwe, Zambia, and stay in touch nabo nangoku. So it was a nice experience. Then ndenza into life coaching, and the life coaching ndenza by default nayo, because ndifonelwa apha emhlobo wenene kuthiwa hey ukhona umuntu oyi-black life coach, kuthiwa akekho, sifuna umuntu oyi-black life coach wazithela isiXhosa. That no man, I need something to download. EMBA is very exhausting. It's very straining. It takes a lot of your time from your family. So I needed something to tone down because I found myself to hey, then cross night and lale go for and so on. Then life coaching, I did it as something to tone down from la high level speed to Ilandu. Then I pass easily because it's more closely to what I do. I've been a doctor for almost 22 years now. So in family medicine, so it was easy to do life coaching because we're dealing with family issues, in marriages, finances, nezinye izinto, abantu abatrapped, izinto ze-alcohol, zonke as troubles, and then we just choose into about which theme are you going to carry most. So that is where I am. So I'm doing that, mostly sitting down at the practice consulting, and then I get invited in the cancellation couple London alone.
You also do a lot of speaking with the events.
Yes, Beck, I do a lot of, I get invited a lot, especially now that you guys have used me on radio. That is serious exposure with the credentials that I have and the exposure through the radio, which I'm very grateful for. I get invited to indawo engazange ndacinga noba ndawuzendibe kuzo, and I mostly a guest speaker. Then depending on the nature of the occasion, sometimes I'm MC. I've done that and I get paid.
Yeah, that is amazing. That is amazing. And just before Ndu Khulule, and thank you so much just for taking the time out to just talk to us about you. Just before Ndu Khulule, what keeps you centered? And also what keeps you to want to wake up every morning and do everything that you get to do?
Thank you, Blake. Into engigcina standard is God. You know the kind of themes endilishana nazo. I'm more into sexual and reproductive health. Once uthethe ngesex, abantu basebayifuna apha kwesiqu bayibona apha kwesiqweni. So I'm God-centered. I love God. I serve God by all means that I can. So uba bekungenjalo ke ku-easy into yoba nditrapheke kwinto ezininzi. So I'm running away from into ezininzi by sticking to God. Also, I've got a wife, is also a doctor, is very diligent, very humble person, understand I. We've got 3 lovely kids. We interact with them a lot. They know that and then when I ask and then they just smile and but then it gives me a chance to engage them. Because I'm a life coach, so it breaks the ice for me. And then we talk easily about menstruation, we talk easily about testes and secondary sex characteristics. So what I do here and what I do with seminars and what I do at work is actually connected and linked, but the exposure is working tremendous for me. But what is keeping me going is I love what I do. Very, very important. There are people who like medicine, and then sometimes abanayo capacity, which is distressing. No, you could be loving medicine, but capacity awunayo, so be realistic. So fortunately I got the capacity, ndabe ndine passion for what I do. So I'm set. I like what I do, because some people ask me ndoba uzawuphela uthetha wena uzamka kule surgery and whatever. I don't think I'll do that. I'm even consulting virtually, irrespective ba umntu uphi. Yeah, because COVID is isincedile ngoku. We're able to do virtual consultation. So I don't have to be behind the desk, but whatever I'm doing, I practice medicine because that's my first love.
Thank you so much for your time. We just thought that it's important that we get to know the man behind the conversations when sitting to what you do. I said, I'm not to tell you, kakhulu.
Kakhulu bade bacimba abantu noba ngumntu onamanyala. No. I'm serving God. I'm a born again Christian. I'm a very humble guy from a very rural area. Kamba abantu abandaziyo, they know into ba ngumntu onesimilo lo. Is a disciplined cater. But abanye abantu bandaziyo ngoba inobisile le ntwana.
So it's good to know, to get that to get to know that side.
Thank you so much, Greg. Let me thank you also. I know you like talking. Once we meet, let me thank you for the wonderful job that you've done up at 2FM. As much as party station, but I've had so many moments with you. You've actually poked me nicely. We've traveled just topics as sensitive kakhulu for abanye abantu, but with the aim of empowering abantu. Thank you so much for being so brave with that voice, with all the gestures and manners, especially Kandilapa Live. I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it so much, and thank you for the invite. May God bless you. Nalapho uyakhona njengoba nizokusiya send off apho nakwamkela nakwela cala.
Thank you.
Nakwamkela nawecala, but continue serving. Continue
so
serving.
much.
There's a lot in store for you. Thank you so much.
And cool. I'll see you on the other side.
Sure.
Yeah, we'll go to an ad break. I will play a song, and then we'll see buses. I tata seating enough from there.
Our 2022 calendar is here to receive a copy of your favorite station.